Hey there, Agile Adventurer. Just a quick question. What if, for the price of a fancy coffee or half a pizza, you could unlock over 700 hours of the best Agile content on the planet? That's audio, video, e-courses, books, presentations, all that you can think of. But you can also join live calls with world-class practitioners and hang out in a flame war-free and AI slop-clean Slack with the sharpest minds in the game. Oh, and yes, you get direct access to me, Vasco, your Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. No, this is not a drill. It's the Scrum Master Toolbox membership. And it's your unfair advantage in the Agile world. So if you want to know more, go check out scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. That's scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. And check out all the goodies we have for you. Do it now. But if you're not doing it now, let's listen to the podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our TGIF. And because this is Product Owner Week, this is not the PO episode, it's the Scrum Master episode, because we have with us Product Owner Njegos Ilic. Hey, Njegos, welcome back.
Hey, Vasco. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So today is Scrum Master Day on the podcast. So Scrum Masters out there, pay attention. This one is for you. So, Njegos, from your perspective as a product owner, I'm sure you have some amazing Scrum Masters you've worked with. But before we dive into that, do share with us potentially the worst Scrum Master anti-pattern you've witnessed in your career.
Ooh. So tough. You have really tough questions, but yeah, I think like the worst pattern that I've seen is basically, and I've seen that, like I work in some companies where basically they use Scrum just as a title, for some process that are working, and they have everything like from dailies, refinements, plannings, retros, reviews, every meeting and everything from the Scrum. But then at the end of the day, you see that, for example, these people who are also titled with the Scrum Master role, they're really, at least in my opinion, they didn't understand what is the purpose of Agile Scrum. And basically they were just doing those different meetings just for doing those meetings, and it was really, and I think it's a common pattern, I would say, with many teams. It was just reporting, reporting cycle from meeting to meeting, and it was just, hey, what did you do yesterday for the daily on, I don't know, refinement? Hey, do we have questions without any interaction and challenging each other? That's at least for me, at least from the product owner perspective, the worst case scenario where you need, you come to these different meetings and it's just like people are not engaged, and Scrum Master is not working to address this. It's more like just reporting and, capturing what was the, discussion points, action points, following up on that, which is totally fine. And I think it's really important. But at the end of the day, that's really challenging. That's really something that's really, I think, from my perspective, really bad. It is challenging for me working in that kind of environment. I'm pretty sure there is a lot of, different examples, but,
So tell us a little bit more, Njegos. Why is that challenging for you as the product owner? So you were talking about the lack of engagement. What does that look like in practice, and how does it affect the work of the product owner?
You basically feel totally alone, because you're trying to deliver some value, because at the end of the day, at least how I see it, you work as a team with different hats to deliver the value, to work on some product, and if you need, to have to work everything alone, to define everything without anyone asking anything, then you really, in the delivery, during development, and basically once the feature is developed, you can see there is a lot of, things that could be addressed before if there was this kind of really open culture discussions, and it can, to be perfectly fair. It can be going both ways because uh, uh, me as a product owner, I will miss a lot of things because it's much easier to define things. It's much easier to to work together with the team if you have that feedback. If you don't have that feedback, for me, it's really hard. Actually, it's not impossible. You have to do it, but I think it's much easier if you have that kind of connection with the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine that, for example, the lack of engagement also creates doubt. Like, will this actually work? Are there problems that they are not telling me about?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then, you're constantly trying. And I think it's also like a part of who we are. Like you're overthinking, you're trying to define too much things because, that's what's expected. And this is also anti-pattern. And that's why I think that the smartest way is trying to engage people, trying to challenge them, to invite. We spoke about that in previous episodes, but basically just trying to change a little bit the focus, maybe trying to do with them also with the help and support of the Scrum Master to do some kind of, workshops, different approaches, experiments, just to basically trying to squeeze a little bit feedback from their head, because it will be easier at the end of the day for the whole team,
Absolutely. But there aren't only bad examples. Some Scrum Masters do an amazing job, and we definitely should give them a shout out here. So share with us, Njegos, the best Scrum Master you've ever worked with. How did they work?
So the best Scrum Master that I worked with, basically, they were invisible, kind of, they knew always when to speak. They didn't be afraid to jump in, to say, hey, we are on time, can we do this offline, or we will do it on some another meeting. This is just a small example. Then basically they were always trying to feel the pulse, what we spoke also, like, and to basically experiment with different approaches and suggestions with the team. They were also really knowledgeable. I have to admit, they really knew the product, and they were, because of that, I think partially they were really respected by the team. And that's the part probably for the Scrum Masters to figure it out how to get that respect, that was actually the best Scrum Master that I worked with. And I have to admit, some of them were really before that part of the team, working maybe as a developers in that team. But at the end of the day, they were really, I use word invisible, but really trying not to be, there when they are not needed. But they basically try to also delegate some things to the team. I know that in one team, basically, we did, we actually lose couple of developers in one team, and basically as a part of onboarding also for the new developers, he was doing this like a round robin for the Scrum Masters, and he basically tried to put a little bit responsibility for everyone in the team for every sprint to get into that shoes, to facilitate some of the meetings, to try to have different approaches to different problems. And in my personal opinion, that helped a lot. At the end of the day, he was, guiding all of that, but it really helped the team. Yeah,
absolutely. And when you think about it, having a Scrum Master that kind of gives the role to the teams also allows the team members to actually feel how hard the role is, right? When I need to facilitate the retrospective, exactly. It's definitely not as easy as when I only participate.
I don't know if this is by the guide and by the book, but at least in my humble opinion, this was really impactful in that particular team that I was working with.
Yeah, definitely a tool for our toolbox, if you ask me. Not to speak about wrangling this difficult product owner sometimes,
Exactly.
All right, Njegos, it's been a wonderful week. We've learned a lot from the stories you've shared with us. But before we go, where can people find out more about you and the work that you're doing?
I'm really not into the social media, so I don't know. At the moment, I only use LinkedIn. So I don't know. I was writing before a little bit, but lately I don't have time, to be honest. So I think people cannot actually, follow my work that much, except from the, circle that I'm, with my friends and people which I'm hanging. But that's it. Just LinkedIn for now. And then if I use something else, I will let you know so you can share it with the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll put the LinkedIn page in the show notes so that people can go and interact with you, Njegos. Thank you very much for being here and for being so generous with your time and your knowledge.
Thank you, Vasco, for having me and inviting me. And as I've said, this was really spontaneous. And sorry if I couldn't provide any more examples. It was a hard week also for me. So this was really
a wonderful week, though. Hard, but wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Njegos.
All right, I hope you liked this episode. But before you hit next episode, here's the deal. This podcast is powered by people like you, the members who wanted more than just inspiration. They wanted real tools and real connection to people who are practicing Agile every day. We're talking access to over 700 hours of Agile Gold, CTO-level strategy talks, summit keynotes, live workshops, e-courses, deep dive interviews, books, and if you're into no estimates, we got the pioneers of no estimates in those deep dive interviews as well. Agile business intelligence, creating product visions, coaching your product owner courses, you name it. You'll get invites to monthly live Q&As with Agile pioneers and practitioners, plus a private Slack community, which is free of all of that AI slop you see everywhere, and of course, without the flame wars. It's a community of practitioners that want to learn and thrive together. It's the best place to connect with community and learn together. So if this podcast has helped you before, imagine what you will get from this podcast membership. So head on over to scrummastertoolbox.org/membership and join the community that's shaping the future of Agile. And we have so much for you. So check out all the details at scrummastertoolbox.org/membership, because listening is great, it's important, but doing it together, that's next level. I'll see you in the community Slack. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.